to make and fun to play around with once you get good at the technique is an omelet. An omelet basically takes nothing more than a frying pan, some butter, eggs, and water. What makes it fun is adding salt, pepper, cheese, tomatoes, onions, meat, whatever you want to it. I'm going to show you how to do the basic technique and a few things you can add to it to make it good. Omelets can range anywhere from 3 to 5, probably even more eggs. But it is a good thing to remember that eggs are healthy, but they do contain a lot of cholesterol. So I'm just going to stick with 3 eggs. You only need a small bowl for this. Another popular way to make this is also to just use egg whites. Now you're going to take your 3 to 5 eggs and you're going to add about 1 or 2 tablespoons of water. I don't like the measure out for this. I think it's easy to just put it under the tap and just, that's it. Barely any water. After you add your water, whisk the eggs and water together. There you go. Should look something like that. Once your pan reaches a medium heat, put a thin slice of butter into it. And let the butter melt around. Once your butter has sufficiently melted, just pour in your egg and water mixture. Make sure you keep an eye on this because you're going to get to a point where it starts to harden, and you're going to want to take your rubber spatula, go under the sides and lift them up slightly, and then tilt the pan so that the liquids go underneath it and continue cooking. As you move this around, you'll see that it's starting to harden a little. Okay, you're getting to the point where you're starting to see an edge appear. Take your rubber spatula and just lightly push down on this edge. Now if you want, you can try to lift up and then, yep, there you go, just like that. Get underneath the edge, lift it up, and then pour in that direction so that the liquid goes underneath the flap. This ensures that the omelet bakes evenly. At this point, as you go underneath, you should be able to pick up greater pieces of the flap. Now that your omelet has begun to harden, I would put down your toppings only on half. I'm just going to do pepperoni, cheese, salt, and pepper. Making a very basic omelet for myself. But feel free to add anything you want, for diced tomatoes, diced onions, all sorts of spices and greens. Just a little bit of pepper in there wouldn't hurt. A little bit of salt. And I'm really just making mine a very cheesy omelet. Okay, now we're coming up to the part where you can impress your friends and family. First we need to fold over the omelet. So loosen up 1/2 and fold it over the half that has topping on it. You should see a darker color. Mine's a bit light, but it will cook enough as we scoot it around on the pan some more. At this point, you should have it loosened up to where you can wiggle it some on the pan. But make sure it's really folded over well and that the omelet is sticking together. At this point, you can scoot it, you can move it around. Now, the motion you should get good at doing is taking the pan and kind of going forward and back. This will make it slide back and forth. I'm going to show you how to flip this omelet so that you can cook it on the other side. As you move it, get good at the motion, the back and forth, and then you want to go forward, and that's going to cause it to go up on the circular part of your pan and flip. Kind of go forward with it and then get your pan ready to catch it. Start with small flips. Don't do anything too extravagant. I'm going to see if I can pull it off here. Oh, mine went up in the air but did not flip. This might take several tries. Make sure you kind of keep your omelet together as much as you can. The more unified it is, the more impressive it looks to people. Mine is kind of falling apart here. Okay. See how I just flipped mine barely? It kind of came apart a little as it landed. But you'll get better at the technique. The reason mine wasn't held together was because I folded it a tad too early and it didn't stick very well. Okay. Continue cooking on the other side for a few minutes until it's the color you like your eggs to be. When you're done cooking your omelet, you can take it and slide it onto your plate. And of course, remember to turn off your oven. At this point, you can doctor it up with whatever you see fit. I'm going to put on a little more pepper. And a tad more salt. And of course, I think ketchup makes a good omelet, and it's always fun to be stylish with it. If you want to call that stylish. So now with a bit of orange juice, and pancakes or bacon, you've got yourself a great tasting meal. Don't be afraid to try this recipe. Omelets are pretty easy to make once you get a hang of the lifting it up and pouring the liquid under technique. And the flipping is a lot of fun. Good way to impress your friends and family. So good luck. I hope you try this recipe.